Reports have emerged that Israel has expanded its operations against Iranian targets to Iraq. Israeli Air Force (IAF) F-35I stealth fighters have struck Iranian targets in Iraq twice in recent days. According to the Times of Israel, IAF fighter jets have destroyed Iranian missile shipments in Iraq. It's well known that Israel frequently strikes Iranian missile packages meant for Lebanese terror group Hezbollah in Syria, but strikes in Iraq are rare. As per analysts, the last time Israel did something like this was in 1981 when it bombed a nuclear reactor, which is referred to as Operation Opera. In this video, Defense Updates reports on Israel's F-35I demolishing Iranian missile shipments in Iraq. Let's get started. This video is sponsored by War Thunder. If you are, like us, fascinated by military vehicles and technology, I recommend you give War Thunder a try. It's a military vehicle combat game which you can download and play for free on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One with cross-platform support. It has a huge variety of more than 1,200 playable aircraft, tanks, helicopters, and ships from the 1930s to the 1990s, which you can take to battle on land, in the air, and at sea on more than 80 theaters of war. War Thunder's been kind enough to offer all Defense Updates viewers a special bonus, which will grant you a free premium tank or aircraft and 3 days of premium account time for registering using our link in the description below. So take the plunge and join more than 20 million players from around the world. Israel and Iran have been outright rivals. The Times of Israel reported that on July 9, 2019, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu warned Iran that Israeli Air Force F-35I fighter jets can reach anywhere in the Middle East. This came after senior Iranian officials had threatened Israel. Mojtaba Zalnour, chairman of the Iranian Parliament's National Security and Foreign Policy Commission, as stated by the Mehr news agency on July 1st, had said, "If the U.S. attacks us, only half an hour will remain in Israel's lifespan." Netanyahu said, standing in front of an F-35 Adir jet during a visit to the Nevatim Air Base, "Lately, Iran has been threatening Israel with destruction. It should remember that these planes can reach every place in the Middle East, including Iran, and of course, also Syria." IAF Chief Major General Amikam Norkin had said last year that Israel had used F-35I in operations in the Middle East, although he didn't provide details. This made Israel the first country in the world to carry out an operational attack using the F-35. It's interesting to note that there are some reports that Islamic Republic of Iran Air Force (IRIAF) Commander Brigadier General Farzad Ismaili has been fired by Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei after he kept secret that IAF F-35 stealth fighters had violated Iran's airspace in March 2018. Viewers may note that although F-35 can't reach Iran on its own, it can do it with air refueling, and IAF does possess that capability. Asharq al-Awsat, an Arabic-language newspaper published in London, reported that its Western diplomatic sources indicated that an Israeli F-35I Adir fighter jet conducted a strike on July 19, 2019. The target was a rocket depot in Baghdad. The other strike was against Camp Ashraf on July 28th, which is located 40 kilometers or 25 miles northeast of Baghdad, and is 80 kilometers or 50 miles from the Iranian border. As per the news network, Hatzarim base had received Iranian ballistic missiles, which had been hidden inside trucks shortly before the strike. Israel does not generally comment on specific reports of strikes, and these were no different. It is important to note that the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said at the time, Israeli missiles targeted military positions and intelligence facilities belonging to Iran and pro-Iranian militias. Keeping all the aspect in view, there's no reason to doubt the credibility of the report. The Lockheed Martin F-35 Lightning II is a fifth-generation, single-seat, single-engine, all-weather multi-role fighter. The Pentagon began the F-35 program in 2001, intending to develop a cost-effective replacement for U.S. military's F-15 fighters, F-16 and F-18 bombers and reconnaissance aircraft, and A-10 close air support warplanes. Apart from the United States, the primary customer and financial backer, several other nations are also part of the program. Israel is the first country outside the U.S. to acquire them. It's already got deliveries of several F-35s and has plans to acquire around 75 of these. The acquired jets are operated by the IAF's Golden Eagle Squadron, which is based in the Nevatim Air Base. The F-35 deal is criticized by many inside Israel since the cost is more than the price at which U.S. Air Force is acquiring the jets. This is mainly due to the fact that Israel's F-35s, named F-35I Adir, meaning mighty, are customized as per the requirements of Israel Air Force and contain several indigenous components. Israel has maintained that the Lockheed Martin F-35 is a game-changer. Israel's former Minister of Defense, Avigdor Lieberman, had stated that the F-35 squadrons are the pinnacle of technology and will assist the Israeli Defense Forces, IDF, and Air Force in meeting the many security challenges Israel faces head-on. They're a central aspect in protecting the safety of the people of Israel along the country's borders and even far away from them. F-35 is developed to be stealthy, which gives it the ability to penetrate deep inside enemy territories, even if they're well defended. Its external structure is designed to deflect radar signal away from the emitting radars. Also, it has a coating of RAM, radar-absorbing material, that reduces the number of signals getting reflected. F-35 does have certain compromises when compared to F-22 Raptor. Notably, F-35's airframe is not as stealthy as found in the F-22. Against X-band radars, it's only stealthy from the front and rear. Against S-band radar, it's stealthy from the narrow front aspect. Against L-band radar, the limited reduction is achieved from direct front. It has a much greater reliance on radar-absorbing materials to maintain its stealth profile. But even with these shortcomings, F-35 is still a very low-observable (LO) platform. It's to be noted that detecting an aircraft only will not enable a shootdown. Continuous tracking is needed for targeting a jet with surface-to-air missile and air-to-air missiles. In a speech to the UN General Assembly last September, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had stated, "Israel will do whatever it must to defend itself against Iran's aggression. We will continue to act against you in Syria. We will act against you in Lebanon. We will act against you in Iraq. We will act against you whenever and wherever we must act to defend our state and defend our people." The strikes indicate that Israel will do as stated by Mr. Netanyahu, and it also demonstrates that F-35 can hit targets at will, which is positive for the F-35 program. Many claims have been made by Russia and China that they have radars that can detect stealthy jets. The reality seems to be different. The fighter seems to be able to do what it was intended for: hit and return without the enemy knowing it was even there. On a larger context, F-35 Lightning II now seems to be well on track to give America and its allies a definite edge. The first Joint Strike Fighters were declared combat-capable in July 2018. The price of all three variants, the F-35A for the Air Force, F-35B for the Marines, and F-35C for the Navy, have dropped below $100 million per fighter. In a recent deal in which U.S. Air Force will acquire 450 of these jets, the prices have actually reduced to around $80 million per F-35A. F-35 program was aimed at reducing cost and seems to be delivering on this aspect too. The turnaround is happening even as Russia and China are faltering with their own fifth-generation jets.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.